You can quote it, the exact sentence, the room it was said in, what they were wearing when they said it. It happened 4 years ago, and it's still clean. Most people would call that a good memory. It isn't a memory anymore. Every time you've gone back to it, you've picked it up and put it down again slightly different. And you've done that hundreds of times. The thing you're defending so precisely isn't what happened. It's the last draft. There was a woman who could recite a conversation from 6 years back. Her sister had said one sentence at a family dinner, something about how easy her life must be. She still had it, word for word, tone included, right down to the pause before it. She brought it up once, years later. Her sister didn't remember saying it. Not denied it. Didn't remember. The sentence that had been sitting in her chest for 6 years had never even made it into the other person's week. So she assumed her sister was lying. That's the easy read, and sometimes it's the right one. And she wasn't a petty woman. Hold on to that part. But she had also told the story to a friend, then another friend, then her husband. And each time it landed a little better, because each time she knew which parts worked. The pause got longer in the telling, the tone got flatter. So which of them was remembering it right? But she had something her sister didn't have. She had a version she'd been over so many times it had gone smooth. Every detail in place, every pause where it belonged. Nothing left in it that didn't fit. And that smoothness is the problem. The clearest thing on your shelf is the least reliable thing on your shelf. That sounds backwards. It isn't. Here's what actually happens when you remember something. You don't open a file, you rebuild it. The memory comes apart when you pull it out, and your brain has to put it back together before it can store it again. Reconsolidation. Every act of recall is also an act of writing. So the version that goes back on the shelf is never quite the one you took off it. It picks up whatever you were feeling when you retrieved it. If you were angry, it goes back a little angrier. If you'd already decided the person meant it, it goes back as meant. The emotional charge doesn't fade with rehearsal. It gets sharper because you keep re-recording it over the top of itself. So how many times have you opened that one? Which means the memory you have protected most carefully is the one you have changed the most. And if you're the person who does this constantly, that isn't a flaw in you. It's what a mind does when something is still open. You went back because it wasn't finished. And it gets quieter than that. Your brain was never neutral about what it keeps. It keeps threat, forgetting which path, which berry, which person used to be expensive in a way that forgetting a good afternoon never was. So the machinery that files pain runs deeper and hotter than the machinery that files ordinary days. Can you tell me what you ate last Tuesday? Probably not. Can you tell me exactly how someone's face changed the last time you asked them for something? You can. You didn't choose that. It was installed before you got here. You'll notice it in small ways. You remember who didn't reply. You know the years someone started calling less. You have a running count that nobody else in the room is keeping. Some of it looks like a gift. You remember birthdays. You remember what somebody told you they were dreading, and you ask about it a month later, and they're touched. And they should be. You remember the tone of a text from a year ago, and not what the text was actually about. That's the shape of it. The feeling survives at full strength, and the context quietly rots underneath it. That's the version people admit to. The other version is a ledger. You know exactly what you've given, and exactly what came back, and the two numbers don't match. And you have never said so out loud, because saying it out loud would make you the kind of person who counts. The kinder explanation runs out here. You go back because going back gives you something. Every rehearsal of the memory is a rehearsal of your case, and a case that's airtight can't be argued with, which means it can't be reopened, which means you never have to sit in the far worse feeling of not knowing whether you were wronged at all. And there's a second thing it gives you, which is worse. As long as the file stays open, it isn't over. You are still in contact with that person. You just do it alone at 2 a.m, and they have no idea. What would it cost you to not be sure? Certainty is comfortable. Ambiguity is not, so you sharpen it. Every pass makes the edges cleaner and the person on the other side of it flatter, until what you're carrying around isn't a person anymore. It's a verdict with a date on it. And here's where you sort yourself, because this goes two ways. Some people keep the file on other people. Every conversation is on record, And the record is a defense. The archive exists so that you will never again be caught believing something generous about someone who hadn't earned it. Nothing is ever fully forgiven, because forgiving would mean deleting the evidence, and the evidence is the only protection you have. Some people keep the sharpest file on themselves. You can recite your own worst moment start to finish. The thing you said when you were 19, the way your voice sounded saying it. Nobody else who was in that room remembers it at all, and you have replayed it so many times that it is the most polished thing you own. Same habit, opposite target. One of them is armor, and one of them is a sentence you keep rereading. So which file are you keeping? If you recognized yourself in the second one, sit with this. That memory has been rebuilt so many times that the version making you flinch tonight is further from what happened than the original ever was. You have been apologizing to a draft. And if you recognized yourself in the first one, the archive isn't lying to you. It's just older than the person it's about. People are allowed to have moved while you weren't looking. You don't have to forget anything. That isn't the ask. And I don't think you could do it if you wanted to. But you can stop taking it down, not because it isn't real, because every time you open it, you write it again, and you are the only one still holding the pen.